Welcome back, Bluegrass Sports fans, to Bluegrass Sports Podcast, episode number 14. We just want to thank all of you all for listening. Our last YouTube video got 730 views. Ty, cue the claps. Oh, the training. Okay, that was good, you know what I'm saying?
Sorry, I was trying to hype it up,
Get loud.
We're very appreciative of everybody. We appreciate everybody who watches our videos and likes our videos. We do it for the fans. We do it for the Bluegrass. We do it for everybody. So thank you all so much. It means the world to us. Now, looking at our overview for what we're going to talk about today, there's one big announcement that literally happened today. We're recording this on a Monday because we have stuff going on yesterday on Sunday. So we have one big announcement that happened in the basketball world today. We're going to talk about it at the end of our episode, and then we'll do that last. But first, we're going to focus on the Louisville Kings, per usual, and then we're going to talk about the end of the regular season for college baseball, and then we'll talk about the one commit that Louisville basketball got, and WKU also got a commit. We'll talk about him. Ty will talk about him. And then I think Ty will talk about Kentucky basketball just a little bit, and then we'll go ahead with the announcement. So to kick things off, we'll be talking about the Kings, and the Kings had one heck of a week. They got their very first win at Louisville at home, and it was a nail-biter. It was a really good game. They won by 3 points. The final score was 33-30, as we posted on our socials. It was just very back and forth, as you can see. I'm just kind of glancing at the box score right now. In the first quarter, you got the Kings scoring 13 points and the defenders scoring 7. And then the defenders scored 10 points in the second quarter, and the Kings scored 4. And then the defenders in the third quarter scored 7. The Kings scored 3. And then in the fourth quarter, this is where the Kings really won the game. They scored 13 points in the fourth, while the defenders only scored 6. So final score being 33-30. And as we look, it was just a crazy game in general. First play of the game, it was a touchdown for the defenders, a 41-yard touchdown pass. And then it was a kick return touchdown for the Kings to follow that. And then when the defenders got the ball, they threw an interception to the Kings. And then the Kings scored on that following drive. So it was a lot of just back and forth going on. Great game for the Kings. As we go over the box score, the guy that got the interception that I was just talking about was Bryce Thompson, number 1. So awesome game from him. Way to get the interception. And as we dive into the offense, we have Chandler Rogers, QB1 for the Kings. He went 11 for 20, 143 yards, 1 touchdown, and he did throw an interception. But his completion percentage was 55%, and his QB rating was 73.5. So amazing game for Chandler Rogers. Now, he did throw that pick, but his completion rating was still above 50%, and his QB rating was still fine. So I'll take that from Rogers. We got the win, so who cares at this point? For the rushing, you got James Robinson leading the way. He had 20 attempts, 59 yards, 1 touchdown, averaged 3 yards per carry. Ian Wheeler backing him up with 11 attempts, 51 yards, no touchdowns, and he averaged 4.6 yards per carry. And then Chandler Rogers getting in the rushing game. He had 6 attempts on 24 yards, no touchdowns. His longest rush was 11 yards, and then he averaged exactly 4 yards per carry. Now, when we look at the receiving game, great game from Isaiah Winstead. He had 5 receptions, 92 yards, and a touchdown. And then you have Tariq Black to follow him with 3 receptions, 31 yards. And then you have Lucky Jackson with 21 yards. And you have Caden Prather that was also involved in the passing game with 2 targets. And Ty was actually at the game. He actually went. He was able to see the atmosphere at Lynn Family Stadium. He got to witness the Kings get their very first win in UFL history at home. So, Ty, kind of talk about your time with the fans and what you saw and how was everything?
Yeah, it was a great environment. So, first walked in, I didn't even realize, but they're handing out these hats. So every person who bought a ticket got one of these hats. So that was really cool, actually, because they're nice hats. Says hats off to heroes. But anyways, environment was great. Now I will say there was a lightning delay. So for 30 minutes, we were kind of just sitting there waiting around. It was off. Rain was off at home for the first about like hour, but overall, great game. Like it was really interesting to see like the first half play out because obviously you have the opposing team, the defenders, scoring a touchdown on their first play. Well, our kick return was to the Kings 40, I think, or something like that. And then they threw a touchdown first play. But nice to see the Kings come back with a kick return and to tie it up. And then interception to go down and get up. I believe, was it? Yeah, it was 10-7 at that point. And then they got another interception. Or, wait, no. Was that interception or was that a forced the turnover on downs? I don't remember.
I think it was interception.
Was it?
What? No,
because there was
are you talking
one.
about
The first one was an interception. Okay, the first one was an interception.
So
the second one was a turnover on downs.
Yeah, a turnover because there was only one interception. Yeah,
and then
that's it.
They went downfield, kicked a field goal,
Mm-hmm.
and then that kind of closed out the first quarter. But the environment was great. I think obviously on a better day, it's going to be a lot more full, and hopefully we can go to this next game on Sunday. I think we're trying to put together a plan to make it there. So if y'all see us, feel free to come up to us, say hi. We'll always interact, maybe possible interviews. Who knows? But anyways, yeah, I mean, great environment. I know they're giving out bobbleheads, Chris Redmond bobbleheads next week. So try to go to the game if you can. So that'll be fun to get a little Chris Redmond bobblehead right here for me. But yeah.
So now the Louisville Kings, they are 4-4 overall record. They are just out of the playoff hunt. Only 4 teams in the UFL make the playoffs, and the Kings are 5th in the standing. So I mean,
they kind of
right
need
there.
to win out. They need to win out. They actually do.
2 games left. They got 2 games, and that leads us to looking ahead at their schedule. And for Week 9, they will play the Dallas Renegades Sunday, May 24th at 4 p.m. So you can catch the Kings at Lynn Family Stadium. I'm pretty sure this is their last home game of the season. I'm like really positive. Let me double check.
It is.
Yeah, because they play in Ohio Week 10. So this is the last chance you could catch the Louisville Kings at home for the season. We're definitely going to try to make it. And if you can't catch the Kings that day in person, and if you can't watch it, I'm pretty sure, let's see where it's being. Okay, so it's being aired on Fox. If you can't watch it in person, like go to the game, or if you can't watch it on Fox, we post final scores and stats and everything on socials. So, Ty, can you remind the fans of our socials and how they can follow their favorite teams?
Yeah, so we have Bluegrass Sports Podcast for all our streaming websites like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and Facebook. And then over there, next to Drew, right somewhere over there, But we got the other way. Yep, that way.
This way?
Yeah. BG Sports Podcast, and that's going to be on Instagram, TikTok, X, and Threads. So there's that. But I do got to say one more thing about the Kings. So you see, the Kings play the Renegades. So the Kings are 5th, the Renegades are 6th. And Kings are 4-4, Renegades are 3-5. So that's a must-win game for the Kings to be even in playoff contention, because that means the Renegades would be tied for 5th place and potentially 6th place with the Houston Gamblers if they win. So there's that. They really need to win that. And if they do, they'll either be tied for 3rd or 4th. And then that's going to be if they're tied for 4th, either way, you're going to have to win the last game on the road against the Aviators. So really going to be tough to close out the schedule, But they can do it, and we have hope. We're going to get into playoffs, and we're going to win it all first season. First season in Louisville, win it all.
That would be really cool. Now, winning it all, that would be crazy. But for me, just first season as a pro team in your city and having a chance to even make the playoffs, only half your league makes it, and the fact that you have a chance to not only make the playoffs, but to potentially do more, I feel like it's very special to not only the Kings, but to the Louisville people itself. Like we've mentioned a million times, I'll do it again. Louisville's very first professional football team. And we want them to do well. And it would be really cool to see how successful they could potentially be in the postseason. But we got to remind ourselves they're not in the playoffs yet. They're not. They're just outside. So focus on beating the Dallas Renegades. Win Week 10 as well, see where we're at, and then we'll go from there. But I'm so happy. The fact that we even have a chance in the first year is just crazy, right?
Right. Also,
okay.
100%.
Keep showing support. This is a road to potentially getting a major professional team. We keep showing out fan-wise. Maybe we can advocate for an NFL team.
Okay, I do want to say as well, we totally forgot last episode that Louisville does have a professional team, but it's not football. We've had a professional soccer team for a while.
Well, yeah.
City. I totally forgot about that. We did not mention that last episode.
Did we not? Oh.
No, we did not mention the Louisville City FC.
They play at Lynn Family Stadium too, don't they?
Yeah, they wear purple, which I like the colors.
And then, bats are semi-pro, I guess.
Yeah.
They're pro, right? Technically.
Technically, yes. They're the next step for going. There's definitely. I don't know if I feel like I still would count it as a professional team.
Because, your
next step is going to the MLB.
Right.
But you're also, you're good enough to get drafted by that team in general.
Are you considering the G League pro for NBA?
Semi-pro.
Okay, so I guess semi-pro for
baseball.
Yeah, so I guess. I don't really know what you'd consider that.
It's hard to put that in a category.
It is. It's odd because, you have AA that's obviously actually semi-pro.
Yeah, but also, too, you got to think about it, too. All these players that are all-stars, when they get injured, they go down to play. And these, like Ellie De La Cruz would go down and play for the Bats.
Yeah.
So, and he's a professional. So would you count it as a professional team?
Well, yeah, yes. I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
It's hard to categorize.
But, yeah.
It's a tough debate. It's a tough debate right there.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of like what the UFL is to the NFL, but they're just not correlated because, the UFL players are fighting for a spot in the NFL. And then, AAA is fighting for a spot in the MLB. But obviously it's different because players can bounce back and forth from – if you get cut from an NFL team, you're cut.
Yeah.
So, slight bit different, but – wow, we've been on the Kings for 17 minutes.
Yeah, we're excited. We got to make sure they make the playoffs.
You all got to realize we did start recording before we kicked it off, so it's not.
That's
really,
true. But
still, we longer than normal. But here's the thing, though. We love the Kings. We love Louisville. They have the podcast. Our full support, no matter what. And I hope that they are going to be one of those teams. The UFL is known for having teams that are just bouncing in and out of they'll exist for 2 or 3 years and then they can't be supported anymore. Either the fans don't show up or the money's not there, so they abandon them. They don't exist anymore. Hopefully, I think with the Kings this year and their fan support and they're a decent team as well. I think that'll keep them around for some years because if you looked at the average fan attendance for the UFL, Louisville Kings was top 3. So, I mean, you have the Battlehawks at number 1. I forgot who was at number 2. I think the Kings were at 3. I don't remember the exact order. I just remember seeing it
For what?
online. So it's the average attendance for each team per game.
Oh. What are the Kings?
I think they're top 3 for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, being a brand new team, you're gonna kind of expect that, I guess.
But you also got to think, like, there's a lot of cities that the UFL tries to, make a team. And, I mean, they're big cities, but they don't really pan out to what they think it'll be. Now, for Louisville, it's in the Bluegrass State. Bluegrass State, very passionate sports fans, especially for Louisville. Louisville's been dying for a professional team for years. I mean, we can all advocate for this, right? Like, we can push for it.
We need a team. I don't care if it's NFL, NBA, MLB, hockey, UFL, or whatever it's called. I don't even care. I don't even watch hockey, but I will. I'll learn the rules.
I'll definitely go to some hockey games. That'd be fun.
See, here's what I think, though. University of Kentucky, University of Louisville. You got your other schools, but I'm the bigger schools. Think about how passionate those fans are about college sports. Now, obviously, the Kings is like a test run with how professional sports will be in Louisville, and hopefully they stick around for years to come. But imagine, like, one of the bigger leagues. Like, I know MLB be rare because, Cincinnati's right there.
Mm-hmm.
And, NFL, they got the Colts right there, Titans. That's probably pretty rare. But as I was talking about earlier, what about NBA? You got Indianapolis. There's not a lot of good talk about Memphis, and I'm pretty sure that's the second closest, if I'm not mistaken.
Cleveland.
The Cleveland, that's northern. That's like 5 hours. Them and Charlotte are kind of like same distance, but really in this area, all you have is Indianapolis. Now, with the basketball history in Kentucky, UK, U of L, imagine if they. Let's talk about this for a second, because I know Tyler was talking about this earlier. I want to bring it up while we're on the air. NBA teams, NBA expansion. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but if it did happen,
it's coming soon.
If it did happen, and what if Louisville, the city of Louisville and the state of Kentucky, gets a professional basketball team in the NBA?
Now, first question is it realistic? Okay. Now, obviously, you're going to have a lot of the older crowd complaining about tax dollars being raised. But, all right, let's say, we have all the money, right? Have everything's scheduled, good to go. New stadium's being built, downtown Louisville, right? Mm. So you have – okay, so say you need one team in the East, one team in the West. Obviously, Louisville's going to be in the East. Now, more than likely Seattle, I think, would get a team. I think the Supersonics would probably be back. That's my just random guess. The other team is like Las Vegas. I don't know. I guess that's potential. But anyways, fan-wise, where else are you going in the East? Right? Think about it.
All the major cities already have a team.
What are you going? Are you going to Florida? Florida is already packed.
Yeah.
Where are you going? I mean, Tennessee, like they already have Memphis.
And I'm telling you, like this past year, there hasn't been good talks about the Grizzlies. Yep. Like the fans showing up and team performance, stuff like that. Like it's just not a good look. I'm pretty sure I read something like Adam Silver being concerned about the Grizzlies, like in Memphis. So if they're looking for another place in that area, I think
would they relocate? Would they ever? But okay, but if they did, wouldn't it be Nashville? I mean,
Or
realistically,
they could go back to Vancouver.
yeah, that's true.
That's
But
where they originally were from, and that would be Canada's second team.
so
If they want to grow like basketball in the world, I mean that wouldn't be a bad option. But I don't know. What do y'all think? Louisville NBA team. I think
obviously,
the fans would be bought in and passionate
Oh,
as
I mean,
heck.
we're going to get so much audience and so much publicity from it. I mean, the city of Louisville always shows out to all these events. I mean, obviously see what we're doing with Louisville City Soccer. You see what we're doing with the Louisville Kings. You see what we've done with uh, the River Bats, or now it's just called the Bats. But I mean, we show up to all these big sporting events all the time. I mean, we beg and beg and beg for professional teams to come here, and we do not lie. Obviously, when the Louisville Kings dropped, there were so many people there. I mean, obviously the stats show third in audience, and so I mean, I believe that if there was another professional team from a bigger league like NBA coming to Louisville, there'd be so many people going and cheering them on 24/7.
an
That'd be
NBA team,
Go ahead.
an NBA team is exactly what the city needs to take a next step up. Like, I mean, I'm sure you agree with me, DJ. Like,
Kentucky's
that is
basketball.
exactly
Basketball.
exactly. And obviously, we see it on the college level what it
Mhm.
looks like. Like, if those obviously University of Louisville has a huge fan base. University of Kentucky has a huge fan base. If those fans come together, I mean, I would argue that you're looking
I
at
pray for the world if they come together.
you're looking at a bigger fan base than
Most NBA teams in general.
yeah. I'd say probably you're below like the Lakers, the Knicks, like all those historic teams.
I mean,
Obviously.
Louisville last season, it's been stated and like their stats on it that Louisville was one of the most watched college basketball teams last year. Like
Yeah.
noted between all college basketball, it was one of the most watched teams in all of college basketball.
Yeah.
So I
You're
mean,
right,
that's
100% right.
all around the world. That just shows.
And I mean,
And Kentucky's known for being one of
Kentucky-
the biggest programs of all time.
also, I mean, Kentucky in a down season was one of the highest rated
Yeah.
teams last year. Like, obviously, like not a good season for Kentucky, but still top 10 highest, I believe, in viewers for the whole season, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Whenever you're not even ranked.
Yeah.
But
That just
I
shows
genuinely think that nobody does it like Bluegrass sports fans. I'm sorry. I might be biased. You got heavy competition like big cities like New York, Boston, Philadelphia. Yeah, those people are very passionate about sports. But I really think the state of Kentucky is very underrated when it comes to their fan support.
100%.
I really
And
do.
By the way, I just want to let y'all know it's probably expected that Indiana, Tennessee, all their fans are going to come after us because obviously we know that the Bluegrass Sports rule the East Side. It is what it is.
I love that statement.
It is
I
what
love
it is. I'm just saying it's going to happen. I'm ready for it.
ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it either.
Where y'all at? We can go. We can debate. I'll send y'all the link to join.
Now, I did look up while y'all were talking about that. I wanted to just double check 'cause I don't want to spread false information on this podcast. So if I was going to be wrong, I was going to say, all right, that's on me. This isn't true, but it is. I looked up the audience for each UFL team that they average per game. The Louisville Kings is second in the league. They're number 2. So you got the St. Louis Battlehawks. I mean, that's St. Louis. They're well known for being, really good sports fans as well. You got St. Louis at 1. You got Louisville Kings at 2. And then you have the Orlando Storm at 3. And then after the top 3, the average fan attendance drops by 5-6%. So I want y'all's opinions on that. Do you think that's a good look for the Kings franchise going forward
Yes.
after the season?
Yes. Because that just
100%.
shows that you're, obviously putting on a show for the guys, and you want people to go out and support the team. And if you're going out there and not getting an audience and not getting people, and obviously it's a new team, but to be a new team and to get this much of an audience is obviously very impressive. Very impressive. So it means the staff's doing a good job. The media is doing a good job for the Kings, and the Kings themselves are putting on a show to go out there and play every game, be in close games. I mean, when they lose, they barely lose. Shoot, it's by almost 3 points every time. So it's a one-score game. So obviously, they're a very good team, but I would just say that I'll give a shout out to the Kings staff and the Kings media for putting on what they do to put out all the information and getting people to go.
And the Kings are only going to get better. Their defense is amazing right now. Their offense still needs work, but it's coming soon. Obviously, first year, they're not going to be perfect. Already made some mid-season trades. Worked out for them, it seems like. Completely changed their just imagine if the Kings got off to like the start that they're on now. You know what I mean? Like they've won 3 of their last 4 games. They started 0-3. If they didn't have that 0-3 stretch, we'd be looking at first, second in the league. We'd be probably first or second in the league because and by the way, back to what you said earlier, the Kings will be above the Battlehawks in viewership.
And you said St. Louis obviously is a good sports town, but not good enough to keep the Rams.
Nope.
Sorry.
That's crazy.
Dude, we've already had one episode where we bash St. Louis, and this dude DJ's still throwing shots at him, man. Like, the Battlehawks.
That's our rival, though.
Hey, they beat us. We can't say none. The Battlehawks beat the Kings.
Hey.
Whenever we make the playoffs, though, they ain't gonna beat us. I said win.
That's confidence right there.
Unless they lose and drop out.
We'll just have to see. I really hope the Kings make the playoffs. I hope they get in top 4 spots. I mean, I don't know if it's staged or not. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for saying this. But if it's staged and you have the team that leads second in the what do I want to call it? The audience per game, it's second in the league. How are you going to leave that team out? I'm saying it could be rigged that we make it. I'm just saying.
All right. That's not true, Drew. That's not true. All right.
All right. Yeah, I'm done.
That's not true. They have so much to lose.
I'm done. Okay, I'm going to be quiet. No more false information. I'm done. Drew's going to stop talking after he covers Murray State here in a second. Okay, we still got more things to cover. That will be it for the Kings. Don't listen to Drew talk about anything being rigged anymore.
Listen to DJ talking about how bad St. Louis is.
All right, we're done with St. Louis until next season. Moving on. Nothing's rigged. I apologize. Don't come at me. Moving on from the UFL and the Kings, we will have college baseball. Now, college baseball, as we know, the regular season is now over with. We're going to talk about the remaining games that occurred this past week, and then we're going to do a deep dive once the games are played into the conference tournament. So for each team in conference, and they're in the Bluegrass. So we're going to start out with the Murray State Racers, and Murray State. They started out their week last week on Tuesday. They played North Alabama, and they got the win 9-5. That's awesome for the Racers. Now, when we look at the weekend series, they did get the series win against Evansville. They played Thursday and lost 6-10. They played Friday and won 15-10, and then they played Saturday and won 12-5. Now, looking ahead at the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament, you have the Murray State Racers taking on Illinois State. They will play Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Now, I just kind of want to talk about the Missouri Valley Conference seeding. So you have the 1 seed as UIC, and then the 2nd seed is Indiana State, and then the 3rd seed. So Murray State was the 3rd best team in their conference. You have the 3rd seed Murray State. You have the 4th seed as Southern Illinois. Then the 5th seed is Evansville, and then the 6th seed is Illinois State. So for the Racers to be 3rd in their conference, that's pretty good. That's great for them. So looking ahead throughout the tournament, that will be the 2nd game played, Murray State versus Illinois State. You can watch that on ESPN Plus, and if you can't watch that, follow us on socials, and we got you with the scores. If Murray State takes down Illinois State, they will play the 2nd seed Indiana State Thursday, May 21st. Now, if they beat Indiana State, they will play Friday, May 22nd at noon against the winner of another game. And then if they win that game, they'll make it to the championship. So that is what the tournament bracket looks like for the Murray State Racers baseball squad. I will deep dive into how their games are being played, how they were played, stats, who played well. I will do that next episode, but that's just an overview of what their bracket looks like and how they could potentially win their conference. Now, DJ, talk about EKU season, because I know they didn't have the greatest season, and I believe it's over with. So if you want to talk about what their season looked like, a few players that stood out, go right ahead.
All right. So EKU faced Bellarmine, and all 3 games this week played Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, May 14th, 15th, and the 17th, and actually got 3 dubs. So they won 16-11, 11-3, and then 9-4. Now, sadly, that wasn't enough to get them into the conference tournament this year. According to their record, they went 18-37 overall and 10-20 in the conference. So obviously, as we know, that's not enough to make it into the conference tournament. But still, there still was some players who stood out this season. David Alvarez, he was averaging .317, had 70 hits, 8 home runs. So obviously, overall, batting very good. He's an outfielder. And then number 2, who was also batting .303, had 64 hits and 5 home runs, which obviously home runs aren't everything. But overall, those are the best 2 players that, shined out for EKU this season. Both being one being an infielder, one being an outfielder. So that's obviously what we've seen this season. So just sad to see. Obviously, they didn't make it to the ASUN Conference tournament. And hopefully next year they can improve on their team, improve on their, pitching, and hopefully make it into the tournament next year and, improve. And we just want to see how they improve next year. So sad to see their season come to an end. But, yeah, that's all I got for EKU. Tyler?
So for WKU, obviously the last series of the regular season was against Delaware. That was a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Now, unfortunately for WKU, they lost the first game. They were able to close out the win 3-0 on Friday. And then Saturday, they took the loss 3-6. So ended the series going 1-2. Not great. Not really what you want. Now, with that being said, WKU closes their season with being a number 6 seed in the Conference USA Championship. So now going into conference play, we're seeing that WKU is a 6 seed, like I just said. Now, that means they're going to be placed in Pool A. So in Conference USA, so there's Pool A, Pool B, and Pool C. Now, that means that WKU will first play Middle Tennessee, which is the 9 seed. That is Wednesday, May 20th. That's going to be at 12:30. So that's going to be a game we definitely will watch out for. And then they either way, they win or lose, they play Jacksonville State, and that'll be on Friday, a 12:30 game. Now, Jacksonville State is a number 1 seed, so obviously that's going to be a hard game because number 1 in their conference, and then kind of you have to win that game if you're WKU because that'll advance you to the next round. So WKU is looking at a really, really tough schedule here. Really hard bracket for Conference USA, which I'll be honest, I didn't even realize it was like this until I just looked it up. It's pretty odd. It's different from a lot of conferences, but so we'll keep you updated on that. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out because there's so many factors in who advances to the next round. Only 4 teams advance, so we'll see how it goes.
All right, now that will be it of the smaller schools. So now we'll dive into the ACC tournament with Louisville and DJ. And then after that, Ty will follow with the SEC tournament in Kentucky. So, DJ, why don't you tell us a little bit about Cade Davis being, what was he, the ACC Player of the Year, first team All-ACC?
Yep,
Talk
he's
about
got
some of that.
He's got a couple others.
Yeah, so talk about some of that and then talk about Louisville seed and how they could possibly win their tournament.
Okay, so obviously I got some awards to go over before. So we got last week actually, right after our episode they had dropped, he was Player of the Week. Also, I want to go over some stats a little bit too for Cade Davis. He has 34 home runs, which leads the entire NCAA. And then he also leads in RBIs with 96, which he leads over 20 over everybody else in the NCAA. Everybody else is at 70. So that just shows you the season that he's having. I said at the beginning of the season, I was very high on the guy. He was the number 1 first baseman in the ACC. They had him ranked 4th in players, and obviously it shows. So we'll go into some more awards. So he is a semifinalist for the Golden Spikes Award. He is also a semifinalist for the Dick Hauser Trophy. And then we want to go to he is the ACC Player of the Year as well. So that's one award that he's for sure gotten in 2 semifinalists. And then I want to go through all ACC players: Zion Rose first team, Cade Davis first team, and Bayram Hott first team. And then all freshman team, I want to give a big shout out to Griffin Crane. He batted .355 as a freshman, which is our second best average. So obviously getting out there, putting the ball in play. Louisville's hitting is having a great season. Hopefully that Louisville can keep pitching or increase their pitching, which is the only reason I would say that why is Louisville is not as on fire as they should be. I'll go over the last couple of games of this last week. So Louisville had a series versus Virginia, where Louisville had won the series, had lost the first game 3-8, and then won the second game 12-2 in 8 innings, and then won the third game 10-5. And that was at Jim Patterson. So shout out to everybody who was able to get out there and watch those games. Also, too, I forgot to mention they played a game before that on Tuesday, and beat Bellarmine 14-7. So that was 3 big wins in the last bit of the season, which brings out their record to 30-26, which is obviously amazing. And now I'll go into the ACC tournament and give you a little update on what I'll see from here. So Louisville is ranked 11th, and they will play ranked 14 Pitt. And if Louisville goes on and wins that, they play number 6 Wake Forest, which we've always seen from Wake Forest, is a very solid team. Their pitching is amazing. So it's going to be a very hard, it's going to be a hitting pitching battle versus Wake Forest's team. So Louisville just got to show that they can hit. And if their pitchers can just get going, that's the only problem I feel like Louisville has this season after watching games and looking at stats. Obviously, just Louisville just is struggling on pitching, which obviously lets the other team score a bunch and keep up with Louisville, because it's hard to keep up with Louisville's hitters. If you can just shut them down, you can't keep up with Louisville's hitters. We have some of the best hitters in the entire league. Obviously, some of the best hitters in the ACC, and it's just hard to keep up with Louisville's hitters. So if we can just keep up with pitching and produce good outings, then I can see Louisville going far within the ACC tournament. So after Wake Forest, if they end up being Wake Forest, they play Florida State, and then after that, it's just up to see, because Florida State's ranked third. Wake Forest was ranked sixth. I forgot to mention that as well. And if that goes on, they play most likely North Carolina, if I had to guess, out of this next bracket, which is number 2 as well, in order to advance to the ACC championship game. So it's going to be very hard for Louisville. I feel like Louisville's in a harder spot, facing the better teams in this side of the tournament. But that's just what I see out of the ACC tournament this year. So hopefully Louisville can stay hot hitting, obviously, and produce better outings while pitching, and allow less runs. That's just going to be the only problem I see out of this team. But besides that, obviously, congratulations to all those players I named earlier. Big congratulations, obviously, to Cade Davis for playing as well as he did this regular season, showing out and having one of the best seasons I've ever seen, the ACC's ever seen, and one of the best in NCAA baseball. So big congrats to him. Very, very much showed out this season. So, yeah, I want to send that off to Tyler now to go on about Kentucky.
Yeah, so for Kentucky baseball, we first have to talk about Tuesday's game against Northern Kentucky. Now, that game was canceled. There was a lot of controversy around this game being canceled. So, first, we want to see that NCAA put out a statement that said, basically, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's a lot, but basically they're saying that the games being canceled for non-weather related reasons are being taken into consideration moving on to tournament play. So that's really interesting to see. Obviously not what you want to hear right before SEC tournament starts, but Kentucky released a statement and they said Tuesday night's game versus NKU is canceled in a mutual decision by both teams. Our team faced multiple extended delays over the weekend, extensive travel delays, and challenging rest and recovery periods. We play a critically important conference series beginning on Thursday that demands putting our student athletes in the best position possible for success. So that was UK's response basically to NCAA. Now, obviously, we don't know if that's a warning or if they're just immediately going to take that into effect, but it is what it is now. Hopefully Kentucky can show out in SEC play. But before we talk about SEC play or SEC tournament, we're going to have to talk about the last regular season series against Arkansas. Now, going into game 1, the Cats looked good. Now, obviously, going into the first inning, they held Arkansas to 0 runs, and they were able to get off to a hot start with 2 runs. Now, it went scoreless in the second. In the third, Arkansas took one back. In the fourth, Kentucky got 2 more. So now you're up 4-1. All you need is your pitching. Now, on good news, Kentucky brings in Jackson Jelkin. And he pitched 2 innings to close out the game. And I will say Jackson Jelkin is going to be needed in tournament play. Like, he's Kentucky's best pitcher, no doubt about it. You need him playing. So whatever it takes to kind of rest his arm, whatever you need to do to get the most out of Jackson, that's what you need. But I will say it was huge that he came in and was able to close out this with the win. Now, Kentucky wins 4-3 in game 1 of the series. Now, in the second game, it was a very close game. Now, I want to say that in the bottom of the 7th, the score was tied 4-4. So in the top of the 8th, Arkansas scored 1 run. Kentucky really needed to get a run on the board. Fortunately, couldn't do it. Closes out the game 5-4 with Arkansas taking the win. Now, that's a 1-1 game. Now, going into the third game gets really interesting because Arkansas goes in, first inning, scores 10 runs. Now, not what you want to see. But I'll tell you, I'll give a positive outlook on this. So, obviously, we see in the bottom of the first, 0 runs in the bottom of the second, 2 runs in the bottom of the third. So, we're getting somewhere. 1 run in the bottom of the fourth. Okay, so they're keeping steady pace. And then 9 runs in the bottom of the fifth. So, it's good to see that they kept fight. Being down 0-10, obviously, drains your confidence. But Kentucky fought back. Now, at this point, they were – what were they? I believe it was tied 12-12. Yes, it was. It was tied 12-12 in the bottom of the fifth. Now, Arkansas scores 2 runs in the top of the sixth. Kentucky can't answer. Arkansas scores another 2 runs in the top of the ninth. Arkansas closes out this series with the win 2-1. Now, obviously, this Arkansas team is good. They were ranked 10 going into this game. So, 10 in the nation. I won't complain about that. It's a good Arkansas team. But Kentucky really needed a win here. Now, moving into SEC play, here's where it gets interesting. Kentucky plays first day of the SEC tournament. Now, that is going to be on Tuesday, May 19th. Kentucky plays number 12, Vanderbilt. Kentucky's ranked number 13, by the way, out of 16. 16 teams are in it. Kentucky's ranked 13th. So, not a good seeding. But Kentucky's got to play with what they're dealt. So, obviously, Kentucky will play number 12, Vanderbilt, assuming they get past this game with a win. They'll face number 5, Florida, which we've seen before. They can win, so hopefully this is one of those 3 games that they can pull out a win. Moving on to this would be technically game 10 in the SEC tournament, but it'd be number 4, Alabama. So you have a tough stretch there from obviously Vanderbilt is a more winnable game, Florida, and then Alabama. Now here's where it gets interesting. You beat that, you're in the semifinals. Obviously that's going to be hard to get to. But if you do, more than likely you're playing Georgia, who is ranked number 1 in the SEC. And I don't know what they're ranked conference or nationally.
I think
They're top 5,
4.
right?
I think they're ranked 4.
Are they?
Yeah, because UCLA is number 1. Hold on, I can give you real quick update real quick.
Because I know they're like really high up, but
Yeah, they're 4.
okay. And then so now you're getting into the semifinal, the 1, 2, 3 seeds. You have to win out here. Obviously, somehow you beat Georgia, going to the championship, take it all. Kentucky wins, Batcats win. But it's gonna be a long road. Obviously, you got to win 5 games there.
Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting. But hopefully, Kentucky can at least get, I'd say, 3 games, and it's a success. Now, that'll obviously affect the seeding and going into national play, Omaha.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see how that pans out. It's going to be – is it even possible for Kentucky to get in?
I'm pretty sure if y'all win
If we win at least 3 games, right?
I'm pretty sure y'all have to make it to the semis. Don't y'all?
I think so, yes, because, yeah.
You just got to make it to the semis to make it in.
So that's not awful.
No.
It's hard because you have to beat Vanderbilt, Florida, and Alabama. So
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, but it's not undoable.
It's
It's
not
definitely
impossible.
doable.
It's baseball. Anything can happen in baseball.
Yeah. I mean, one game. I mean, Kentucky's hasn't gotten. They didn't get swept at all during the regular season in SEC play, so that is good news.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they can fight with SEC teams, so we'll see how it goes. Obviously, they just need to be more consistent, and they didn't have that throughout the season. So, but really, I think that's all we have for baseball. We'll pay attention, obviously, during the week, whenever like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So here, I'll just say the games will be Tuesday, round 1, Wednesday, round 3. For Kentucky, it would be Thursday. Thursday, round 3. And then Saturday's the semifinals. And then Sunday's the championship. So obviously, we'll know. I don't know. I think we might be recording during the SEC championship, but we'll know if Kentucky makes it there or not. So obviously, we'll give score updates throughout that too, no matter who's playing in it.
Same for the ACC tournament as well.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
right. Is that it, Tyler?
I think that's it for SEC or what I have to talk about for SEC tournament.
Alrighty. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and move on to basketball. And then after I get done with Louisville, we'll go ahead and move on to Tyler with Kentucky.
Do we want to talk about WKU real quick? I just got to hit on one.
Yes. I'm very sorry. Yes. Go ahead and talk about
you're good. So Noah Norgard is a 6'2" guard who averaged 7.7 points and 2.2 rebounds this past season. So I just wanted to hit on that real quick. That was another addition for WKU. So good to see for that. But
at least it's getting the team together.
I know. Yeah, they are. But we'll see what they look like. Hopefully they can keep improving, add to last season because they had a good team last season. But
yeah.
Anyways, I think that's all we had to talk about with them.
Yeah, so Tyler had to be back real quick. So Louisville this week, I want to talk about Louisville getting the first recruit from China, college recruit from China. He comes from Shenzhen, China. He moved to the United States just last year, and that is Boyong Sheng. He is a 6'8" wing. He's a 4-star prospect. He ranks 15 among small forwards and 46 among prospects in the nation. And then I want to move on to, let's see. So he graduated, for his senior season, he played at Veritas Academy. In 14 games, he averaged 20.2 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 1.6 assists while shooting 39.7 from the field. He earned second team All-Nike in the Scholastic League honors for his efforts. And then I also want to talk about his international experience that he has with the China men's national team participating in the 2025 FIBA Under-19 World Cup and 2024, the FIBA Under-18 Asia World Cup, the FIBA Under-17 World Cup, and the 2023 FIBA Under-16 Asian Championship. So across 26 FIBA sanctioned events in those 3 years, he was averaging 17.3, 4.4 rebounds, and 1.1 assists. So obviously, this guy is a very, very solid player. I've watched some of his film. He's a good three-point shooter, very good scorer. He can move the ball. He can play excellent defense. He's a great wing, being 6'8". Obviously can get to the rack. He plays fantastic. And also it's very cool to see, Louisville getting the first recruit from China ever. So into college basketball sanctions. So it's really neat to see that. It's obviously, a once in a lifetime type of thing. And, hopefully we see more come in, next year. So he is obviously very good. Like I said, he's played very good internationally. He played very good his first year into the United States. So let's see how he corresponds that moving into college. Obviously, he will now be a starter. But saying that, I do want to go over Louisville's starters and secondary roles, most likely. I don't even want to call it predictions. I just want to go over the roster. Last time we did predictions, it didn't go so well. So we'll just go over the whole roster here, and I'll give you some spots for each position. So for point guard, we got Jackson Shelstad, London Johnson, and Isaac Ellis. For shooting guard, Adrian Woolley, Deshane Montgomery, and a walk-on that I did not mention. He is a recent walk-on, and his name is Will Hankey. For small forward, we have Carter Knox and then Boyjong Jang. And then we have Fulgaris and Abana Kinsey Jr., a power forward. And then we have Floyd Badunga and Gabe Dines at center. Secondary roles, though, Woolley can also play point guard. Carter Knox, Lennon Johnson, and Boyong Zhang can also play shooting guard as well. Deshane Montgomery can move to a small forward position. And Badunga can play power forward while Abana Kinsey can play the center position. So overall, Louisville's lineup is obviously filling out. I just love to see it. I just love to see us getting new players all the time, getting these 4-star, 5-star recruits. And PK has just done an amazing job so far this season. And I'm so excited to see what he moves on with. And he just keeps picking up these guys, and we'll have to move on. There's a lot of stuff going on with a bunch of these other players. I won't get into it because we're not exactly sure. There's a whole lot of false information out there, a whole lot of false stuff that I will not get into because obviously none of us are sure about some of these players. But when things come more clear and we get to see who's declaring for the draft and who's not, I'll get into talking about more of these players who are staying in a college and who actually have a chance to come to Louisville. Because that gives everybody false hope, and we don't like that. We don't like that around here. And I don't know who that was for. I don't know if that was for me or the guys moving.
That was for the false information.
False information.
We don't like false information.
We do not like false information. All right. A lot of these outlets out there, won't name names, give out some false information. We want to give you guys the truth about what's going on.
Well, I gave the fans false information. I made a joke about the UFL being rigged. All jokes.
But we clarify it.
We clarify. Yeah, that's a whole different thing.
It's not rigged. It was a joke. Please let us in the playoffs. Thank you. Next.
Okay. But that's actually another thing for the Louisville basketball fans. I want to give a big shout out to Damian Lee for his full retirement. He's fully done with basketball. He's time to settle down, and I want to give Damian
Cue the claps for that.
Cue the claps for Damian Lee. You know, he had his deals at Louisville. Fantastic at Louisville, moved on. He got drafted, played great at the Warriors, and I just want to say a big shout out to Damian Lee. I watched him when I was younger, and just great to see the man, you know, doing his thing and living life how it's supposed to be. And that's what we want from all of our people, from all of our, you know, all of our guys. You know, it's just a big family between Louisville and their players, and that's what you get when you come over here. So, but that's pretty much it with the Cards, and we'll move on to Tyler with Kentucky.
All right, so with Kentucky, we don't have much now. All right, before we get into that, I just want to say, go Thunder, go Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Sorry, I just had to mention that real quick. You know, can't go without saying that. But Kentucky still needs an NBA team, so please come to Kentucky. But anyways, so not much news. Not a good thing. I will say we're still waiting on Milan Momcilovic to decide whether he's going to come to college, stay in the NBA draft. We don't know. Not looking good. It's really 50-50 on what he does. Now, speculation on if he returns to college is Kentucky is expected to be second now. There's a report that Louisville is expected to be first to get Milan, but I just don't see how that's possible.
See, that's the news I don't want to talk about. It's the news I don't want to talk about.
I don't see how that's possible. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say that Louisville can't do it, but how's that? How do they have enough money?
I want to guess. Well, Louisville has barely even spent the money they've had yet. That's the only point that I want to give.
Okay, well, all right. You're not going to spend $60 million. Not 60, but I'm overshooting. You're not going to spend $40 million on 1 year.
I mean, I don't disagree. I don't think it's exactly the smartest thing to do, but I mean, I'm not exactly sure how much money Louisville has. But
Nobody knows.
Louisville, obviously, I mean, I don't think they've used most of the money they've even had yet.
I wonder. So, obviously, are they taking money from different sports? Like,
I mean, obviously Louisville's other sports besides the big ones like baseball, basketball, and football, obviously are very successful within their own right. So I could guess possibly, but I don't want to spread false information because I don't know if they're grabbing money from the other sports or not.
I can't see him taking away football. There's no shot.
No, the thing, I mean, I can see them taking away maybe baseball a little bit, even though our baseball program's already good. They just don't get as much because I've talked to the coach personally before about this, and he says that he doesn't give out much scholarship money in his own right. And I don't know about NIL, but that's totally different from the school. So he doesn't, give out full scholarships, not one. So I know that he doesn't spend a whole lot of money. He makes some kids earn it. So that's what I love about Dan McDonald. He makes some kids earn it. So it could be that. It could be the stuff they get from there, but who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows?
but honestly, I mean, it is what it is. Now, back to Kentucky. So, obviously, Kentucky has spent very little compared to what was expected. Obviously, all that was because of not landing the top player. So Kentucky still has that 7 to 8 million that they can spend still, and it was expected to throw it all at Momcilovic. Now, who knows what he's going to do? I just find it really hard to believe. Now, this could be completely false. Louisville may have tons of money, but I don't see how Louisville has the 7 to 8 million to throw at Momcilovic. But also on the flip side, like, it may not be about money. Maybe he takes a 50% cut to go somewhere he sees as a better fit, I guess. But also he said, which players say anything to just get the questions by, but he did say Kentucky would be a good fit for him based on like Oak's play style and the lack of shooters last year, which that's a whole nother thing. Who knows what he's going to do? We'll see whenever the time comes. Now, here's where I start to worry. Malachi Marino is projected 23rd in the draft, in this latest mock draft. That is a horrible thing for Kentucky because at that point, I think he's gone. If you're projected 23rd, you're probably not coming back to college. Who knows what he's going to do, but, like, I don't know.
I mean, but to be honest, though, you got to think about it as well. If you're not going in the first round, it's way better to go back to college than go straight in the second round because you're taking a big cut. And especially if you're drafted out of the top 10. Out of the top 10, you take a bigger cut. Because they were talking about that with Mikael Brown. Whenever Mikael Brown was talking, they're thinking about him going in the 12th spot.
Okay, so what does it take for Malachi Marino to get a top 10 pick next year? Probably a successful Kentucky team. Yeah. So that means Kentucky has to be a top 15 team. Does Malachi Marino see that potential?
Well,
does
also,
he not?
You got to think about it as well. John Morant his team wasn't so successful at Murray State. Obviously, they were good, but they weren't as successful as they could have been. And he still went. I think he went 14. He went pretty high in the draft first round as well.
I look at that kind of like play style though, because he's kind of the player that stands out.
Well, I'm just saying if you stand out for your team that year, then obviously you could have a chance to get big like that.
I think Marino kind of just like fits into a specific play style where he can be like really good, which is what the NBA looks for. They draft based on potential, which, is a whole different thing. But I want to say, like, what does this team look like without Malachi Marino? Because now you have one center who you're not too sure about. You have a couple power forwards. Your center position is lacking completely. Just saying that you don't get Marino. You have to go pick somebody up. Now, who that is, who's out there, who's available, it's late.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's like hidden gems, but
You don't really know those guys until you see them play.
right. So you're taking a huge swing on a guy who is probably unproven. Now, it could work out great, but obviously that's my worry. Now, I think if Marino goes to the draft, we're going to have the opposite problem of what Kentucky had last year. Kentucky had lack of guards. Now they're going to have lack of centers. And it's going to be kind of similar to, I won't say the play style would be similar, but it's going to be similar to what Louisville's struggles were last year. They didn't have size on the interior.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for me, because I worry. I really do worry.
And that's a hard basketball to play. Obviously, you've seen it cause a lot of stress on our guards.
Yeah.
A lot of stress on our guards and made them work even harder.
Now, Kentucky has great size for guards. They have great size, but that doesn't make up for lack of centers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could, I guess, if you have a certain play style, but obviously you got to, I mean, who knows? It's difficult to see because you kind of need outside shooters at that point because you can't play an interior play style.
Yeah, it's just lack of presence, which also allows the other team's offense to score on you, which then you need to reply back, and that's why it was hard on Louisville's guards because we had to shoot. We had to shoot. That's all we could do is shoot threes. That's why you've seen so many people chucking threes. Conwell, Brown, Woolley, everybody out there just chucking.
Which isn't a bad play style, but you need that interior force, like you said. I mean,
yeah.
And I mean,
a lot of stress.
I don't think Kentucky has that, and I'm worried about how this season's going to turn out. And I think a lot of the Kentucky insiders are too.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody's worried because this team is really unproven. I mean, they have, I would say, good guards. They have forwards that have potential to be good, but they don't have a star player. They don't have now they're going to lack at the center position if Marino goes to the draft. But if Marino returns, I think the season will look better. If Marino goes to the draft, I'm going to worry a lot. That's as simple as I'm going to put it because who knows?
It's okay to worry, but at the same time, we're always going to give them our full support no matter what.
Oh,
we'll
100%.
Watch every game no matter who's playing, no matter if we have a few wins or anything, no matter what team they're playing. Like, we're still going to support them no matter what. We're never going to bash a team. Like, are we going to be worried? Maybe. But we're still going to give them our full support. Now, Ty, is there anything else you wanted to say before I give them the big announcement?
I don't think so. I think we're all good.
All right, so it actually just got announced today that the 2026 TBT is officially going to be starting here in July, and the only two teams that are in the league right now are La Familia, aka Kentucky alumni, and the Bill, aka Louisville alumni. Now, they already came out and announced that there's going to be a best-of-3 series played in round 1 for every team. And they already matched up La Familia and the Ville.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these games will occur. The first game will occur on July 18th in Lexington. Not Rupp Arena, though. It will be the Memorial Coliseum.
Yes.
Where the women's team plays.
It's very nice, actually.
Yeah, it's nice if you want to go check it out. I mean, it'll be crazy atmosphere. That'll be July 18th at noon. Go support the alumni teams. And then if you are a Louisville native like us, we will be at the Freedom Hall game. Now that atmosphere is crazy. I was there in 2024. I witnessed everything that happened. It was a crazy atmosphere, crazy event. La Familia got the win, but it was just amazing to see Kentucky versus Louisville basketball in the summer. So at
And
Freedom
Louisville fans
Hall
showed
would
out.
be,
Louisville fans showed out too.
yeah, that's right. That would be game 2. That's for sure happening July 20th at 7. It's a Monday night.
Now they did have possibly game 3. What was it? What does it mean to get possibly a game 3 for that?
So
What do you need?
So say one team wins game 1, another team wins game 2. I mean, that's
Oh,
like
this
a
game
tiebreaker.
3. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I
So,
wasn't even thinking about.
Game 3, if necessary, is to be determined. That'll be July 22nd. That'll be Wednesday at 6 p.m. And I'm pretty sure how it works is, okay, so the first game's in Lexington, second game's in Louisville, and then for the third game, whoever has the most ticket sales,
Yes.
that will be game 3. That's where whoever will host it. Now, my prediction, if it does go to game 3, I'm predicting it will be at Freedom Hall in Louisville because Louisville fans, they kill it every year in the TBT. They have the most ticket sales almost every year. If it came down to it, I'm sure that's where it will be.
Yeah, they
Now,
always sell Freedom Hall.
now I do have a few announcements about the teams. So you have some Kentucky alumni that were they're officially committed. You have Willie Cauley-Stein, fan favorite for Kentucky. He will be the starting center as he was last year and the year before. And then you also see a return from Archie Goodwin. He will suit up for La Familia. And then you also have Reed Travis joining La Familia. I'm pretty sure this is his first year playing in the TBT for La Familia. He was fun to watch at Kentucky. He played under Coach Calipari. And I'm excited to see how he plays. He's been playing overseas ball, and I'm excited to see him suit up for the Cats once again. Now, I will say I'm not sure if it's official or not. I could be behind the news, or this could just be wrong. I think the Harrison twins are already committed, but if they're not committed, I'm sure they will play again. So that will be the guards for the La Familia. And then for Louisville, their main 3 that they came out with today that is for sure playing is obviously Russ Smith. I think DJ mentioned earlier, me and him were talking that he's like he's part owner of the Ville, like the team.
Mhm.
Is that right, DJ?
Yeah, he's a sponsor.
Okay, so you have Russ Smith, point guard, and then you have Edgar Sosa. Is that how you say it? Edgar
I think it's
Sosa?
Edgar Sosa.
Edgar Sosa. Okay, you have Edgar Sosa, and then you have Malik Williams.
Yeah.
That is also suiting up for the Ville.
Yeah.
So that will be their 3. Now, DJ, do you think Peyton Siva will play again?
Possibly. There's a possible chance of playing again. I can also see because we have other players that played last year that I think possibly will play this year, like Montrezl Harrell. I think we'll get going again. We also have David Johnson. I think he'll get going again. That's a Louisville native from Trinity. I think we'll probably get Ray Spalding again. And I would say Chris Dow, which he played for Bellarmine, but he's a Louisville native, so he played on the team. And then Jay Scrub possibly back. I'm not sure about the other players who played on the team last year. Shane Bohannon. I totally forgot about Shane Bohannon. He was most likely to come back as well. He did play the 2 years that we had it. So I'm hoping he does. I'm a big fan of Bohannon.
Now, I will go over the coaches real quick before we wrap things up. For La Familia, the head coach will be John Hood. He actually played at UK in the past. So this will be La Familia's 3rd coach in 3 seasons, with Tyler Eulis being one in 2024 when the last time La Familia and the Ville played. And then you have Sean Woods, also played at Kentucky in the past. He was the coach last season when they didn't do the greatest. And then now you have Coach John Hood. So we'll have to see how he does with La Familia, and we'll cover all the TBT, not all teams, but just the Ville and La Familia, and see how they do. So we'll just see how John Hood does. And then I had to look this up because I seen John Hood pop up on my feed. I didn't see a head coach for Louisville pop up, so I had to look him up. It says that former U of L guard Michael Belfour, is that how you say his name?
Michael Belfour. Now I don't know if
Belfour.
I don't know if he'll lead with the head coach. I'm gonna guess Luke Hancock was the coach last year and the coach the year before. I'm gonna guess he's gonna do it again.
It says that he leads the coaching staff for this year.
He did.
Michael Befor.
Okay. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm looking on the thing in the TBT right now, and it's not even telling me.
It might be Luke Hancock. I could be wrong, but I looked it up and that's what it told me. So we'll just have to see. I just know for sure for Kentucky came out, or La Familia, and they came out and said John Hood will be the head coach for the 2026 TBT tournament. So we are excited to report that. Go get your tickets now because it goes quick. So I'm sure this will be posted tonight or tomorrow. Once if you're hearing this right now, go look at the tickets, Ticketmaster, anywhere. Try to get your ticket because it goes quick.
Whatever you got,
go get them.
Go get them. You can look it up on tbthoops.com. You can go to tbthoops.com and look for tickets for your team.
Yeah. So we'll be covering those games. We're pumped about it because last year these teams didn't play each other. So the fact that they're playing each other and it's a best-of-3 series, not just one game, a best-of-3, that's awesome, and we're looking forward to it. Now, do y'all have anything else before I close this up?
That's it.
No, I think we're all good.
We appreciate you guys watching this. I know this is a little longer than most episodes. We just had some stuff to talk about, and we appreciate every view, every like you all give us. We appreciate you and thank you so much, and we will see you all in episode 15.